Hello. In this lesson, I want you to identify and graph step functions, and I want you to identify and graph piecewise defined functions. Now, a step function is what's in this first example. Notice how it kind of looks like there's steps here, like going up a staircase. This is one of the most famous step functions. It's called the least integer function. Notice it's got the double brackets around it. I'm going to blow this up so we can see it a little bit nicer. So we got these double brackets around it. That's not absolute value. That is what we call the greatest integer function. Sometimes you'll see it like I have it in the first example with the brackets on the bottom. That's the same thing. These two are the same symbol for the meaning of what we're going to do. What it means is we're going to pick if I pick a number, I'm going to pick the greatest integer that's less than or equal to that. So if we look at our graph here, if I pick like 0.5 for x, what integer, I should say, is less than 0.5, but it's the biggest integer less than 0.5, that would be 0. If I put 0.7, that would still be 0. When I get up to 1, well, 1 is 1. That's the biggest integer that's less than or equal to it. If I go 1.2, it's still 1, and so on. So that's what we're going to do when we graph this. Let's make a table so we can kind of see what's going on. And I think I'm going to put this in columns. I'm going to start with x. I'm going to find x minus 2. Then I'm going to use the least integer function x minus 2, and that's the part I'm going to graph. So for example, let's pick some numbers and let's pick some decimals here. So I'm going to go like 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2 to see if I can find the pattern. Well, 0 minus 2 is negative 2. 0.5 minus 2 is negative 1.5. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. 1.5 minus 2 is negative 0.5. And then 2 minus 2 is 0. I could keep on going. In fact, I think I'll do one more just so I can get some positives in here. Then I'll go 2.5, and 2.5 minus 2 is 0.5. Now let's find the least integer function. Well, the biggest integer that's less than or equal to negative 2 is negative 2. The biggest integer that's less than or equal to negative 1.5, well, that's also negative 2. The biggest integer that's less than or equal to negative 1 is negative 1. The biggest integer that's less than or equal to negative 0.5 is also negative 1. And then I go 0. And the biggest integer that's less than or equal to 0.5 is also 0. So you can kind of see what's going on here. So when I'm at negative 2, I'm at negative 2. When I'm at negative 1.5, I'm also at negative 2. When I'm at 1, whoa, I just noticed I did that backwards. When I'm at 0, I'm at negative 2. Let's try that again. I was doing the wrong one. So when x is 0, we're down negative 2. Sorry about that. When x is 0.5, we're still down negative 2. When x is 1, we're at negative 1. When x is 1.5, we're also at negative 1. When x is 2, we're at 0. When x is 2.5, we're also at 0. So what's going on here? So when I'm at negative 2, I'm at negative 2. So I'm going to go all the way here, and then I'm going to go up. Open circle means we don't include that point. So I go over here, and I'll put an open circle here, and here's my steps. Every time I go over 1, I'm going to go up 1. And then I'm going to have an open circle at the end of it. I can go backwards too. That might be a little bit easier to see. And there's your step function for a problem that looks like this.